Jacob, your video.
Oh, you did. You can't do that. That's
Honey, come on, get in front of the camera.
You have to cut that.
And don't hit my arm when I cut the camera.
You only have 8 minutes and 40 seconds of video. Okay, cool.
Jacob. How you doing?
Good. Bob, hi. Thank you for letting me interview you about your childhood, okay?
Okay.
And spending time and let me share your life with others. It's really nice. Thank you. First question. So, you are my paternal grandpa, and I am named after you. Jacques Jacob, right? Can you tell me what is the origin of your name?
The origin of the name,
Of
the
the
family name?
No, the name you got. Jacob, Jacques.
Oh, my grandfather's name, Yaakov.
Yeah, you got it from Yaakov Benezra, your grandfather?
Right.
And can you tell me something about Yaakov?
No, I never knew him. He passed away in Turkey, and I was born in Morocco, so I never knew anything about him.
Okay. So I knew you were born in Casablanca, Morocco. How did your family come to live there?
They came between the two world wars, that is World War I and World War II, from Turkey for business. They established businesses.
Okay. So, in the house that you lived in Morocco, were there any special items within that you remember?
Not particularly. You mean that came from the old country or something like that?
Just things in the house that you remember.
No, it was a 3-bedroom house. It was pretty comfortable. Kitchen, bathrooms, and no, it was pretty comfortable. I don't remember anything in particular.
Was there like a patio or anything or something?
Yeah, we had 2 balconies up front with columns, and on Saturday night we would set up rugs on each side, and the old folks would gather on one side and the kids on the other.
That sounds fun. So, being a teenager, like my typical day after school would be like getting home, doing my homework, playing video games, or playing a game with my family. What was your typical like after school day?
Well, basically, you went to school in the morning, you came home for lunch, you went back to school, and in the evening, you either did your homework or played. But remember, I was born at the end of 1941, and that was in the middle of World War II.
Yeah.
So there were alerts, you couldn't, blackouts, where you have to turn all the lights off, and sometimes sirens where you had to go in the shelters.
Was that scary for you? Like, how old were you back then?
About 3.5 at the end of the war. But then I got sick, and so I was in bed for 3.5 months.
Oh gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my. So you know me. I'm a sports nut, right?
It's breaking up a little bit. What was that, Jacob?
You know me. I'm a sports nut, right? I know like a lot of sports and all that stuff, right? What sports did you play as a kid?
Basketball.
Basketball? A lot of it?
Yeah. Not a lot, but I did get involved in a team and played with basketball, basically. Then they have little games with those little round balls, you know.
Soccer?
No, not just the soccer, but the little guys that you play by hand.
Handball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
And then as a young man, maybe your age, these flippers came in, those tilt machines, do you remember?
Pinball.
Pinball?
Yeah,
like
pinball machines and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Were you good at it?
good, I wouldn't say. There were some people who were much better. And then there was also, what was it that we played? Like football that you have downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the stuff that was new in my time.
Okay. Okay. Back to the serious questions. Who was the oldest relative you remember?
Closest I had an uncle, an aunt, and cousins on the street. Just a few numbers down the street. And they were all maybe older than I. So the closest relative was my cousin Max, who was 4 years older.
Who was the oldest? Who's the oldest one?
Oldest relative.
The oldest relative was my uncle who lived in the street, Uncle Nissim.
Did your grandmother live with you guys?
He was much older than my father.
Did your grandma live with you? Like grandma, like we have?
What was that, Jacob?
Did your grandma live with you? Like grandma?
The grandma died before I was born also. Yeah.
Okay. What was your cousin Max like? What was he like?
Max, I knew, we'd go and visit the other uncle, his dad and mom. There were 3 brothers. He was the youngest. Mm-hmm. He went to study in Paris, and then he came back, and he worked at the U.S. base. And, I saw him once in a while, but I didn't see him all the time, you know.
Mm.
You met his wife, Esther. Say something.
I think I met his wife, Esther. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids also.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember him. Okay, so last question, Poppa. Who would you say would be the biggest influence for you?
My biggest influence?
Yeah, for you.
My father.
Why?
My father, my mother, because he was, I would say, a man of simple ideas, but practical ones. So whatever he said, whatever he did was practical advice. And don't forget, my dad was 41 when I was born. So when I was 10, he would be already 51. So it's like a grandpa rather than a father.
Mm.
But his ideas were practical. And I admired his skills at the factory that we had with machines and things like that. Practical man.
Mm. Okay. Well, Poppa, thank you again. It's really, really nice. Thank you so much.
Israel.
Okay, darling.
Okay. I'll see you in Israel. It's really nice. Is it morning there?
What was that?
Is it morning in Israel right now?
Yeah, it is morning. It's 10 hours hence. If you add 10 hours to your 7 or 8, you're going to find it's maybe 7 o'clock.
Mm. Okay. Well, thank you again so much. Thank you so much, Poppa.
Oh, okay, darling. Be